Okay, I'm calling this Searching for a Shino. Now, what is a Shino? It's a Japanese glaze that was elaborated in around about the 16th century. And it was initially the people they were looking for, the Japanese, they were looking for a porcelain. So it was a type of feldspar, and in fact that feldspar must be rich in sodium. So I'm following, as we work with ourselves in making our own glazes, I'm following that principle with the base of sodium-rich feldspar, the methylene cyanide, then with kaolin, and then our particularity as we pick up clays from the beaches around. I'm testing what happens with different types of clays that we have picked up from around us. So the first one, and this actually gives me a lot of idea of the characteristics of the clay. The first one is what I call, it's from a white clay, and we can see it's got a kind of light orange to it. So this light orange is telling me that this is more aluminium rich. Like the proportion of aluminium is higher as opposed to the silicate. The kaolin, which is aluminium silicate, and this gives me this is like the test, the control. This gives me a lot of orange to it. And as we're getting richer in silicate, then I'm going from the orange to the white grey. And then you can also see this peeling. This peeling is due to the high amount of aluminium in it. So as though the effect is interesting, then for functional wear, that's not less interesting. It depends what we want to do. So here you have three different clays plus the kaolin: white, kaolin, grey, and what we call the red clay. Here at the end is in fact a mixture of these different ingredients. I can call them ingredients, and this is where it's starting to get really interesting, is that we get this effect, but it's in function of where the flame has hit it, then it's more or less melted. This is probably where it's melted, it's got more of the flame, and where the glaze is thinner, I'm getting this orange aspect to it, so which is really pleasing me. Then I get, this also is a mixture of it, and this is actually quite fun because I can see it will be really interesting for functional wear. So this is really what I've been developing in that was the firing that we did on the 23rd of May. Now we've done a week's glazing and we're doing the firing today, and in this firing from these experiments I've formulated like a formula in function, like taking the average of these ingredients, and I've created a formula, and we're going to wait and see what happens. But for me, part of it is now, the next part on is testing from these experiments, testing the final formula, not final but on the way, and also seeing how it behaves at different temperatures in the kiln, because it needs a very, very high temperature and high reduction. So in function of this, I've placed certain pieces up into the area of the kiln where I know it is the hottest and the most reductive, but I've also placed different pieces at different places elsewhere, lower temperatures, just to see how it reacts. What's the interest of this is how we create our formulas. It's all a question of testing. Well, first of all, going out into nature and see what nature provides us with, and then it's a question of testing, observing. Every firing that we do will always have test pieces in it, because that's how we evolve, how we progress, how we create new formulas, new textures. And this it's an ongoing thing. It's sort of with our creative process. There you go.